The Woman in Cabin 10. Laura Lowe Blacklock is an investigative journalist fresh off a traumatic reporting assignment in which she witnessed one of her sources being murdered. Looking for a break, she decides to cover what she thinks will be a fluff piece on a luxury cruise for charity, hosted by a businessman named Richard Bulmer. Bulmer is raising money for a new foundation dedicated to his rich, dying wife, Anna Lingstad, with stage 4 leukemia. Bulmer is escorting the foundation's board members on his yacht to a fundraising gala in Norway and wants a reporter to come along to raise awareness for the Cancer Foundation. So Lowe boards the yacht and meets the various wealthy board members. Also on the boat, to Lowe's chagrin, is her ex-boyfriend Ben, a photographer who has also been hired to cover the cruise. Drama. In an attempt to avoid speaking to him, Lowe ducks into cabin 10, where she runs into a blonde woman with a hoodie. Lowe apologizes and leaves. Lowe sits down for an interview with Ann Lingstad. Ann tells Lowe that she has stopped all her medications and treatments and plans to die soon. Before she goes, however, she plans to give a speech at the fundraising gala in which she will announce that she is giving away all of her money to charity and leaving her foundation to someone who is not her husband. Ann asks Lowe to come back and talk to her again tomorrow. Late that night, Lowe is awoken by a scream and sounds of struggle from the cabin next door, cabin 10. She hears a big splash and sees a body floating in the water. She immediately alerts the crew, and everyone is roused from bed for a head count. All the crew and guests are accounted for. Lowe insists she heard a struggle in cabin 10 and is told cabin 10 is empty with no guests. So who was the blonde woman in a hoodie that Lowe saw? The next day, Bulmer and his guests brush off Lowe as seeing things and urge her to let it go. But she won't. In the meantime, Ann is being super weird. She forgot that she asked Lowe to meet with her and blames her medication. But wait, didn't she stop taking her medication? With the help of Ben's photographs, Lowe figures out who the blonde woman was. She finds DNA evidence, hair, in the cabin 10 shower drain. It quickly becomes clear that Lowe is onto something when an anonymous someone keeps warning her to back off. Said someone pushes her into the yacht's pool, closes the cover, and nearly drowns her. When Lowe gets back to her room, the hair is gone. Someone really wants her to drop this? When Lowe still doesn't let it go, she is confronted by the blonde woman in the hoodie. The woman begs Lowe to drop it, now that she knows she is alive. In a struggle, Lowe knocks of the woman's hoodie, taking the blonde wig with it. With her hoodie down and her head shaved, this woman looks a lot like Ann Lingstad. The woman locks Lowe in a makeshift prison on the boat. With time to think, Lowe figures out what is going on. Bulmer killed his wife, the real Ann Lingstad, because he knew she was going to disinherit him. That's whose body Lowe saw in the water. This woman with the shaved head is now impersonating Ann. That's why she said the thing about meds, why she didn't remember to meet with Lowe, and why she's been acting so strange in general. The woman confirms Lowe is right and reveals her name is Carrie. Bulmer found her using facial recognition software, determined she would be a good match for Ann, and paid her to pose as Ann to sign some legal documents giving the foundation to him. Carrie insists she did not think Bulmer would kill Ann, and only agreed because she needed money for her daughter. Lowe tries to convince Carrie to go to the police, insisting that Bulmer will kill her after she signed the will. Carrie refuses, but she does leave the door open for Lowe to escape the boat, while the rest of the guests are off on a day trip. Bulmer's doctor stays behind with orders to find and kill Lowe. He nearly does, but thanks to Ben, who sacrifices himself in a last-minute rescue, Lowe escapes. She jumps off the boat and swims to shore. Carrie, posing as Ann, signs the documents giving the foundation to Bulmer. Lowe sneaks into the gala and tells Anne's bodyguard everything. Together with Carrie, they come with a plan to expose Bulmer. At the gala, Carrie, still posing as Anne, calls on Lowe to speak. Unable to deny Anne's request in front of all these people, Bulmer lets Lowe speak. Lowe reads Anne's original speech announcing she is giving away all her money and disinheriting Bulmer. Carrie as Anne confirms that she, Anne, wrote the speech and that these are her wishes. Bulmer snaps, attacks Carrie, and announces to the gala that she is not the real Anne. Bulmer puts a knife to Carrie's throat and uses her as a hostage to escape the room. Bulmer marches Carrie down the dock to the boat, hoping to escape. Lowe and the bodyguard follow, and a fight ensues. For a moment, it seems like Lowe will have to watch another person die in front of her, but not so fast. Lowe knocks out Bulmer and saves Carrie's life. In the last scene of the movie, Lowe is back in the newsroom. Her article was a hit. She receives a video text message from Carrie that reveals Carrie and her daughter are safe.